again. Perfect. Right. 1, 2, 3. We are going to show you the story of After the Storm. Let the show begin. Percy the park keeper could not sleep. Outside, a great storm was raging with thunder and lightning and pouring rain. But Percy wasn't frightened of the thunder, and he loved watching the lightning as it lit up the park, and he didn't even mind the rain. But there was one thing Percy did not like. He did not like the wind. It blew down fences in the park and ripped branches off the trees. He did not like it one bit. Oh no, he sighed. As he watched from the window, the wind tugged at the trees, making them creak and groan. It looks like it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. And he pulled his pillow over his head and went to sleep. Percy was up early in the morning, and the wind had stopped and the sky was clear. Percy loaded up his wheelbarrow with all the things that he needed to make repairs and clear up after the storm, and he set off to inspect the damage. He felt happy as he took a deep breath of fresh, clean air. Breathe in and out. Perhaps the damage wouldn't be so bad. But he was wrong. Something dreadful had happened. The great oak tree that had stood by itself had fallen. It had blown over in the storm. The giant tree was one of Percy's favourites, and now it looked really sad lying on its side with a mass of tangly roots. But it wasn't one of just Percy's favourite trees. It was some of Percy's animal friends who lived there too. Now their home was wrecked. Percy hurried up to the tree. The animals were gathered around the tree. They were looking sad and unhappy and cross. And when they saw Percy, they started talking all at once. Percy sat down with his friends and listened and told them about the great tree. The badger said, "Now we have nowhere to live, no home. Some of us have lived in that tree and some of us have lived under that tree for so long, and now we are all homeless."
Yeah.
The rabbits were really close to tears. The fox was very sniffy. Percy passed him his handkerchief, and the fox blowed his nose. Percy stood up. "We'll have to find somewhere else to live. Come on, everybody, jump in my wheelbarrow." The animals felt better now that Percy was with them. First, he took them to a pine wood. Nobody wanted to live there. The mouse squeaked, "It's too dark." And the hedgehog said, "It's too gloomy." So Percy took them to a shrubbery, but nobody wanted to live in the shrubbery either. The squirrel said, "No big trees." And the rabbit said, "No big roots." "Never mind, Percy. We'll try cross the stream." Percy began to push his heavy wheelbarrow over the bridge across the stream. But in the middle of the bridge, two things happened. Percy stumbled, and the wheelbarrow decided to see what it would like to be a boat. Splash! Suddenly, Percy and his friends found themselves drifting downstream, where the stream opened into a lake. Percy stood up and looked around. We'll have to paddle to shore, he said. But then something caught his eye. No, wait, said Percy. Let's paddle across the other side of the lake. I have an idea. The animals all looked puzzled. What is Percy up to? Slowly they paddled the wheelbarrow across the lake. Here we are, said Percy. The squirrels jumped ashore and tipped the wheelbarrow. They found the roots of an enormous hollow tree by the water edge. Now this is my plan, said Percy. Everybody gathered round Percy as he explained his idea. Is everyone clear? And everyone nodded. Right, let's get to work with our tools. They began to unload the tools.
It fell again.
It began to unload the tools.
No.
This is the interval.
It fell again.
No.
Good. This is a funny video.
Okay, let's have a look at our tools. The badger used the saw. Let's see the saw badger. And he showed the squirrels how to knock nails. And the fox drilled some holes. And the rabbit screwed some screws. And the mice were busy fetching and carrying lots of different things. At lunchtime they took a short break and they had some peanut butter sandwiches, and then they got busy to work again with all their tools. At long last their work was finished and they stood back to look at their handiwork. Now the squirrels had a brand new home. Now the mice had a brand new home. Now the rabbits had a brand new home. Now the badger had a brand new home. Now the fox had a brand new home. Now the hedgehog had a brand new home. In fact, every one of Percy's friends had somewhere new to live. Well done, everybody, said Percy. This is the best tree house ever. What about you, Percy, said the badger. Aren't you going to join us? Percy smiled. I think I'll stick to my old hut, he said. Besides, taking an acorn out of his pocket, he said, I still have one more job to do on the big hill. Thank you very much for watching our story. That's the end of our show. Bye! Bye! Give yourself a big clap. That was amazing.
No,
Okie dokie. Right, should we...